I will never drive back to Starve Hollow just to ride the mountain bike trails. However, I will likely ride here again. Here's why. Over the years, several friends and acquaintances had told me about Starve Hollow State Recreation Area in Jackson County, Indiana. I heard, but didn't listen. It was Starve Hollow, blah blah blah, mountain bike trails. So on an unseasonably warm December day, my wife and I went to Starve Hollow so I could ride and she could hike. I didn't have high hopes. Indiana Department of Natural Resources has other mountain bike trails on state properties. Those built by volunteers and contractors, such as trails at Brown County and Versailles State Parks, are wonderful. Those built or grandfathered in by the DNR, such as trails at Deem Lake and Jackson Washington State Forest, are terrible. It was my understanding that the mountain bike trails at Starve Hollow fell into the latter category. I therefore had low expectations, but hey, it was a gorgeous day and a chance to explore new trails, even if they were terrible. They weren't terrible, but they certainly weren't good. Much of the trail is on what appears to be old county roads. Starve Hollow Lake is often in view, so the ride is pretty, but rather tedious. There is some single track, and it's fun, but the one available map doesn't differentiate between shared use and hiking only trails. I found myself on this hike only trail, turned around and went back. It would have been nice to have a sign at the intersection so I wouldn't have blundered onto the trail in the first place. It's also interesting to see an old ATV icon showing a three-wheeler, which were effectively outlawed in 1988. Even when you're on a mountain bike trail, signage is poor and blazes unreliable.
Okay, so I'm riding along. I'm on the green trail. I see the green blaze on the tree, obviously. But where does it go from here? I'm not seeing another green blaze. So I come around the other side of the tree, because sometimes they'll mark it on both sides. And lo and behold, there's a green blaze. And now I will back up so that my back is to that green blaze. And if I'm looking straight ahead, which is what the blaze would suggest I should be doing, I got nothing. So I'm thinking that's it for Green Trail for me. I have a map. I left it in the truck. This doesn't show up on Trail Forks that I can see. So I'm kind of stopped at this point.
Most of the climbs I could ride, but there were also fall line climbs that forced me into hike-a-bike mode. Maybe I could have ridden these ascents 20 years ago, maybe not then, and certainly not now. Soon after I shot this bit, I came to an extended fall line section and turned around. I could have easily ridden down it, but could definitely not have ridden back up if required, and I was tired of pushing the bike. Near the start of the trail was an extended section of flowing water. There were social trails that attempted to bypass this wet area, but none went the full distance. I tried that on my outbound leg. On my return, I decided that the designers intended for me to ride through the water, so I did. The trail tread was as solid as pavement, and surfing the trail worked out fine. Other sections had some muck, but it wasn't terribly deep, and I had no trouble riding through it. It's conceivable that there would be days when these sections would be dry, but given their low elevation, lack of grade or side slope, and proximity to the lake, I think those days would be few. By the way, my wife set out in hiking boots and soon returned to the truck to change into her milk boots because of the sloppy conditions. For the first part of the ride, you're never far from the lake and the trails tend to be wet. Further on, the trail rises and dries out. There are bridges over the creeks you'll encounter. I paused to do a bit of trail maintenance after crossing this bridge because why not? Overall, the riding experience was okay, but not great. I would never drive this far to ride these trails again. But there's much more to Starve Hollow than mountain biking. The blah 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 part I'd tuned out in the past was a description of the 145-acre lake, the 150 campsites ranging from non-electric to full hookup, and the 18 cabins, some right on the lakefront. In my mind, I saw Starve Hollow as 4 primitive tent sites next to a pond. I was really wrong about that. I can easily see us coming back here with our travel trailer. If we do, we'll bring our kayaks. I'll also have my road bike for sure. I've done road rides in this area, and they were a lot of fun. And I'll bring my mountain bike. While I would never drive here again just to ride the trails, I would also never camp here and not ride the trails. To do so would be to deny myself the full enjoyment of all Starve Hollow offers. I'm Rich Reese, and I'll see you out there.